I should be a single man. Really shouldn't stay anymore.
Somehow that's a perfect song to start a show.
Who is that?
Lindsey Buckingham,
Oh,
formerly of Fleetwood Mac,
Yes.
and I Think I'm in Trouble. Good evening, everyone. Just a few minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock, 7:04. And this, my friends, is a special edition of Let's Talk Oconee. We're welcoming everybody in who is joining us. Kathy, welcome into the show tonight. And this is going to be a wild, kind of crazy show. We've got emails. We've got stuff to get to. We've got a ton of information. And we have some video to watch here later this evening. Rowan, you look very sophisticated over there with your hat.
it's a new release.
Oh, okay. All right. Rainey, you look comfortable over there.
I tell you what,
Can you? Yeah,
it's a great day in Oconee County.
you can raise that microphone up there a little bit.
How's that?
That'll work. I think you can just raise it up. It'll come up. There you go. There you go.
Right.
Yeah, I guarantee that probably all of Oconee County employees now, when they answer the phone, are just smiling and saying, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?"
It's a great day in South Carolina.
Well, anyway.
That's what the governor ordered them to say.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's what Nikki Haley did. That's right. Yeah, it's a great day in Oconee County to getting screwed. Well, guys and Kathy and gals.
Is the county even going to be able to afford the phone system?
Well, we don't know. I mean, we don't even have a budget, really. Seriously.
Well, when you have lemonade or lemons, you make lemonade. So I'm introducing
Okay.
my new line, but it's only for the OCC. It's called the Matt Hat. As you can see, it's got rhinestones.
Oh my God.
And it's got boss. Now, if you watch the last council meeting, you'll see why. It's the hat of strength and power and steamrolling people, and that's it. And if you act quickly, well, I'm giving a discount, but only OCC people, $350 a hat because they're all hand rhinestones. And if you act quick, and I can do this because I'm probably older than Glenn Hart, throwing in a special design T-shirt. And if you look at it, Jeff, can you read that? Because I can't read it.
And it says, "I'm so old, I can't remember where my nuts are."
Okay, folks. That, for all you OCCers, that's a free T-shirt. And I'll even throw in shipping and handling, if it's local, partial mail, the Matt Hat. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you three work for a few moments and set the scene for the show. I've got to go behind the scenes and work on technology. So our 4 people that are actually watching the show, we only have 4 people.
Well, that's okay.
That they can see on YouTube right now. They're seeing absolutely nothing. So y'all converse amongst yourselves, and I'll be back in a few moments.
All right.
Hey,
Kathy, how's it going?
It's going.
How's the kids? They feeling better?
Oh.
They're all right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good deal.
Starting to feel better.
Wow. And Chris, Gladys is home. She's feeling better?
no, she's feeling crappy. Hey, did everybody miss my Matt Hat?
No, they got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got it. But
We're not
They
on
got
the
it.
show, though. It's just us.
no, we're on the show on everything but YouTube. He's fixing that.
Is that true, Joe?
So
Well, I take that back.
yeah. So everybody saw it. So why are we here tonight? I guess the reason we're here is to recap what we saw Tuesday night at the county council meeting.
Mhm.
Now,
And it was ugly.
It was quite impressive. I mean, I heard about a new tool,
what was that?
root cause analysis.
Root cause analysis.
That's something I haven't heard about that.
Right. Well, I heard about it one time.
I think he was saying it for an audience to be impressed and like, wow, he must know something. Well, first of all, it's not the tool to use in a situation like that. It's like taking a pea shooter to a skyscraper.
Right.
Based on, but anyways, it was quite impressive.
But what was clear though was the man has never constructed or used a budget before.
No. Well, he's never had responsibility.
Well, the thing
or
about it is
accountability for it.
right. The thing about it is the most important part of a budget is people, data, and process. You've got to have those 3 things. The most important part of it is the people that work for you. You've got to have buy-in to that budget.
Right.
You can't just you tell them, if you work here, this is how it's going to be.
Mhm.
because guess what? They're not going to work here anymore. It's just not going to happen.
Well,
he
I was interested in what they were saying about the study, and I'd be interested to know just exactly what kind of study they're going to do and how they're going to do the study, because I understand where they're coming from. I think from the engineering standpoint, but because with engineering you have like motion time study, and that's all about efficiency and everything. But I'm not sure
Well, wait,
that's
Kathy.
going to apply here.
They don't have people to do it.
Well, that's the thing. Is I bet there's process. Process is the most important part to budgeting, and you've got to roll this thing way back. You can't just take a train that's going full steam down the road in a direction and throw the brakes on without causing complete chaos and pandemonium. We see what happens when a train goes off the rails in West Palestine, Ohio. It's not ever good to do that. If the county council wants to change the way we do business, they can't do it by dictating through a false budget that they don't even know what's in it, because 2 of the members didn't even get a chance to read the amendments.
Yeah.
So there's ways to do that. And it starts with training in your departments. Train your departments to collaborate with one another and with the county council. So obviously what we saw Tuesday night was the county council has never sat down with department heads and directors and talked through what their budgets are and what do they need. Do they need more? Can they give something up? Those conversations clearly have never happened. What do you
Well,
think, Chris?
that's where I got chastised for suggesting that they get out and go walk these jobs and talk to these people. And then it was like I was suggesting, that, and some foreign concept here, that these people have no idea what these people are doing every day, and they don't.
Well, yeah. Okay.
They
so
don't. They don't know
right.
what they're doing.
But that county council is really like a board of directors, and then you got a county manager who's the president of a business, and then you have directors. So you got to let people do their jobs. You can't micromanage like they're doing. And when they're talking about the rock quarry, they're arbitrarily going in and cutting things out of a budget for brownie points politically. They don't even have any idea why. If they're going to challenge to take costs out, then they need to be talking to the directors saying, where are the opportunities for us to take the cost out? And if all they're going to do is going to get a song and a dance from directors, say, okay, well, your challenge is 10%. You tell us where it's going to be because you can take 10%.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's do.
Okay.
I think we've got everything up and running for the folks that's wanting to watch on YouTube. It is up and running. So if you need to refresh, if you're watching on the website, letstalkoconeesc.com, just refresh it and your new link will come up. So
Okay,
we've increased, everybody's back on now. So what I want to do, do we have the other stuff that we want to take care of first before we go into the video?
Oh, the serious stuff.
Yeah, the real serious stuff. It was mentioned in the county council, and I don't really know remember who.
It was Glenn Hart.
It was Glenn Hart that Matt had an MBA. Is that right?
Yes.
And
yes.
and
that
he
meant
was
everything.
And he was the smartest person on council.
Because he had an MBA.
So he had MBA. So I want to show everybody here that's watching the show tonight, just because Matt has an MBA, we have other people that have MBAs too. So who are we going to start with
We're
first?
going to start with Chris.
No,
we're going to start with you.
Why would you start with me? Well, you said you were going first.
No, I think it would be better if we started with you.
All right. Okay. So let me talk a little bit very quickly. Okay. So I got my MBA from IU in the 70s. And when I graduated, I actually knew and felt that I was about the smartest guy in the world.
Until you got to GE.
I mean, I was the smartest guy. I knew. I said, well, I've got an MBA. Oh, well, then I went to work for GE and I realized how stupid I was and I didn't know anything. So I learned a lot. And after 30 years, I started my own consulting company and working on large issues. And then during my time with GE, I had budgets of my own operation. I went through several cycles in multiple businesses where we were in trouble and we had to do significant cuts. So I understand what I'm talking about, even though these guys think I'm senile. Okay. And I also, when on my consulting company, I never worked on anything that didn't have problems. They were all ex-GE leaders that I needed to go in and help. And usually it was disciplines, arrogance, and things like that. And that's what was happening. But Durham liked to talk about, use that big fancy word that's like kind of scared me, this root cause. Okay, so if you look at this, Matthew,
What's that?
you work for
Master black belt.
Duke. So if you know anything about Six Sigma, you'll see the name on there. I'm a master black belt in Six Sigma. And as anybody knows in the industry, there's not a lot of people that achieve that. And I did that on one of my international assignments, and we did it based on the productivity projects or the things we had to do. So all you people out there want to talk that, blow that smoke. When it gets down to it, a lot of it's common sense. And one of the things is you start treating employees fairly. I always made sure I did, even if I had to fire them. I respected them and said, "You're just not cutting it." Now, this actually is not my proudest achievement. One of my proudest achievements is, Jeff, will you show them my gold record?
Yes.
Was my rap career where I earned a gold record. Jeff, could you talk about just mention a couple of my hits?
I like them wild.
I like them wild. I remember.
And wait, there's more.
Time to organize the posse.
Time to organize the posse.
Wait a
What?
minute, I gotta get back over here to the mic.
Oh my God.
These are all the songs that I was rapping to that my son used to mock me about that I would say. And there's my rap picture. You see my rap picture there, right?
Let me. I got another. Just give me just a second. We're going to try some technology here.
Okay.
You know, since we started off with a bang, let me see if I can add an extra camera. I can add the camera. Let me bring this camera up, and there it is.
And now you see it's a gold record. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here it is. It says, "I like 'em wild. Time to organize the posse. Greased up Yankee. Hello, I love you. Taking it to the bank."
Oh, yeah.
Is this true? The OG and the OCC.
Oh, yeah.
Number 7, March of the Penguins.
March of the Penguins.
Number 8, Gorillas in Our Midst.
Yeah.
That was wild.
That's because when we used to sit in the hot tub, my son would call me Silverback. He said, "Daddy, you're hairy. Your back's so hairy and gray. I'm gonna call you Silverback from this part out."
And at the end of the days, oh my God! So this is it right here. Here it is.
but the best one was written by my wife. My best rap song that was "Greasy Yankee," and it's because,
Greasy
of course,
Yankee.
my wife grew up in South Carolina. Whenever we went to Thanksgiving, Gladys would get the kids when they're little all riled up by saying, "Yeah, we're going to play Greasy Yankee." And what she meant was I was the only one in her extended family of rabbits because there were like 500 of them. Well, we're going to Greasy Yankee and they were going to chase me around. So
All right,
anyway,
let's keep
moving.
let's keep moving because we need to get to the good stuff.
Okay, hi. Jeff, here's my other one.
If you'll hand it here, sir.
Yes. And this is using my life coach skills. I'm actually licensed, so I can talk to anybody. if they have any private marital issues that was just stuck, I am licensed and I can't talk about it.
Wait a minute. So this is credentials of the ministry. This is to certify
Well, go with Jeff, please, sir.
that the bearer hereof has been ordained on this date, 12th of July, the year 2009, is officially recognized as a member of the monastery and has all the rights and privileges.
Yes.
We are not worthy. We are not worthy in the studio this evening.
Yes.
My God.
And I earned that. I earned that because I wrote the check for $25 on the internet. Now, here's my last achievement. This is important. This is one of my best. Hold on, I got to put my headphones on.
It's Comrade pooping.
I can't get my hat. Hold on. Dang, man, dang.
It won't fit over your head.
I just got that hit. So, Jeff, will you please show them? I was actually, for a while after I retired, I was a movie star and I released a movie. And this was the hat that I wore.
The Cold
In this
War 2, the Big Freeze.
Cold Warrior 2.
Yeah. Chris Rowan returns.
Yes. I won an award for that because I was I was. Well, I still am, but I just retired from that as a movie star.
Did your son do this for you and your daughter?
Yeah, they
Oh,
did.
respect.
Well, you know what? Because I was poo-pooing it, because at the award ceremony, it was kind of modest anyways. But that's it. There you go, folks. So those are the things that I want to present and prove to them that, guys, don't bullshit me. I mean, you know what? These are all my accomplishments. None. One of you guys, there it is. Sometimes your greatest enemy is yourself.
Oh man.
And it is restricted, so you can't have the kiddies there. Now, Randy, you cannot compete with that. So I want you to show us what you have.
Man, I tell you what, I can't really compete with that. The biggest thing I got really happened to me this week, and hopefully I passed hazmat awareness with the county fire.
Well,
Because they're going to need all the volunteers they can get.
we're not going to have any volunteers anymore.
Well, they're all going to be volunteers, because all the people sticking around with that budget are going to be volunteers.
Yeah, but do you
So-
really know what you're talking about when you talk about the budget?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, do you, Randy?
You know,
I mean, do you? You were a
We
Navy
can-
chief. But what the hell do you know about a budget?
you know,
What do you know about a budget, Randy?
I don't know a lot. about
Well, wait a
budget.
minute. What is that, Matthew? Holy crap! That's an MBA also.
Let me turn my camera on here.
Oh God! But you,
I got that out of the attic a while ago to bring it down here, because you was bringing your rap records and stuff. I mean,
and here's your recognition from Jack Welch.
Hold on.
Oh, okay. Can you
but
see
anyways, this will go back in the closet tomorrow.
that? You're gonna go back? What?
no, this thing. will
Oh,
go back
I'm
in the
sorry. I'm
closet.
sorry.
But anyways, you really don't need it for life, or budgeting. But what you gotta do is you gotta know people.
Exactly.
People is what's important, and no matter what the budget says, they're gonna have budget amendments all through the year next year to pick up whatever pieces that exploded out of this, and they're going to have to come and grovel at the county council and be humiliated by this tyrant just to get the money to keep the things running in the county. And that's what's really sad and pitiful about all this. This guy, he had 9 months off to do nothing from his job and from the council. He could have came forth with the most robust budget of all time, and the only thing he came out with is, "You guys are going to do what I say," which that is beyond unbelievable.
Yeah, and if people don't think that's true, they need to look at the picture in the restaurant after the county council.
Well, here's what I want to do right now. I want to indulge. I've got the video ready to go. I'm going to bring it up here. And Kathy, you should be able to see that on the screen. Can you see that?
I can see it.
Okay. We're going to sit back for just a few moments, and we're going to play at least about 10 to 15 minutes of this. Because if you haven't tuned in, you haven't seen it for yourself, we want to show you this shit show in its entirety. Because believe me, after everything was said and done, this was an utter shit show. Compared to many previous councils through the years, by far. And even we've got an email later on in the show that we're going to read. Folks, the phones have been ringing off the hook all day. Rainey, you've got calls.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you, I have never seen the life of people that are pissed off.
That's the thing is this everybody's emotional about this because this person made it personal. This guy, his attacks weren't on the budget or anything else. He was attacking people. And that's the problem.
Well, yeah, but who he was attacking was Elliott and Davis and collateral damage.
No.
He called out directors by name in that meeting that he's never talked to.
My point is, he's got an axe to grind for some reason, and the people that are the collateral
I know
damage.
the reason. If they had read my letter that I couldn't read because I had no voice last night, if they had read my letter, you'd know the reason. I can connect the dots for you. Go ahead and play the tape.
Roll that beautiful
Bean footage.
An investment for our taxpayers. By exercising diligence and prioritizing the well-being of our community, we can begin to foster an environment of sound fiscal governance. Now, state law requires us to pass a budget by July 1st. And although we gained a new conservative majority on council late in the budget process, we cannot allow this circumstance to serve as an excuse for compromising our values or making hasty decisions. We must not succumb to time pressures, but instead remain steadfast in our commitment to doing what is right for the people that we serve. With this in mind, I'm going to propose that we approve the fiscal year 2022-2023 budget for fiscal year 2023-2024 with some necessary amendments. And in a couple of months, we'll have actuals, and we can revisit any proposed amendments or increases with the proper rigor and scrutiny that they deserve. And what that will look like is for the county administration and staff to present the proposed increases to the council with a full scope of what the funds will cover, what the expected return on investment will be.
All right, I want to stop it right there. Return on investment. Anybody remember Sewer South?
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Return on investment. We're going to cut everything off. We're going to make sure that it's a return on the investment. I don't see any return on the investment. Do you?
No.
Do you?
No.
Well, the thing about it is, Sarah Palin built a bridge to nowhere, and she convinced those Alaskans to do that. Now, Durham and the OCC have created the sewer to nowhere.
Yeah, sewer to nowhere.
And that's just how it's going to be. I mean, we're going to hear about Project Ironwork or Iron Horse or
Iron Man,
whatever, and that's going to it's going to flare up and it's going to fade.
All right, let's continue.
So can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, guys. So when Sewer South first came out, these guys for the last couple of years have been banging on Kane and Davis and Elliott about being fiscally conservative.
Right.
And that's what you should do. I mean, Lord, I used to get beat up on that all the time with my budgeting, and you learn those things. But the thing about it is, whenever we were spending money, especially on the budget and programs, I had to justify why they were giving me money. And if I did not deliver on my commitments, I didn't get money the next year. They're spending millions of dollars. And the one thing that Nick said is it's just common sense. You know what? Asking to give a projected analysis on return on event the money,
Right.
investment, it's just common. You do that to see how close you are. Not only that, I was even mocked by the newspaper. Well, government is different. That is crap.
All right, let's go.
But
Hold on.
Government
He
is,
can't wait. No, Randy.
Go ahead.
government is different, but the processes are the same.
They should be
And
the same. You're right.
You can bring agile budgeting or Lean Six Sigma into government. The
You're right.
federal government does it all the time. And that's why over the last 25 years, they've been able to do so much more with so much less.
The federal government also passes a budget so that they can know what's in it too.
Right.
Okay, let me finish.
Except
For
that
the
one
citizens,
time.
and how long until the citizens will see the return, and how will that return be measured? This approach gives us the necessary flexibility to make further amendments to the budget if the county administration and staff demonstrates a genuine need. We'll also allow more time for the development of a pay scale that truly aligns with.
Okay, right here, when we're talking about the pay scale and stuff, and we're getting more into it, and I'm stopping it because there's points that I want to make across as we continue. So, county council now is in charge of HR. It seems like that now they're the head
Bingo.
honchos. They are HR. So
Well,
you
here's the
have to
thing.
bow down.
When
You
can't-
have to bow down to the king in order to get a job, or you have to kiss somebody's ass.
when you have no friends and you're in charge, that's what happens.
You only have 12. That's all. 12.
But he has no allies in county government.
No.
That's the problem.
Yeah, but
And so he's got to get rid of everyone, just like Barack Obama did in the Department of Defense. He fired all the generals, all the department
that's what we're
heads.
not. Okay,
all
so do we
gone.
want to go with?
No,
all right.
But
No.
that's what he did.
No, but that's
so that
easy.
he can have allies.
No,
Now that's
no,
what's going to happen next week in the county.
No. Can I say just one thing? This is more basic than that. This is not even proper leadership. Jeff made a point.
But
Now they're HR. they're so far down in the weeds. How in the hell can they make business decisions? Why do you have directors? Why do you have a county manager? You hold these people accountable. If there are budget challenges, you hold them accountable. You need to deliver this. Tell me what's going on. Blah blah. It's just they're down there. And when he starts cherry picking people, even though he doesn't mention names on that is so out of context.
Absolutely.
It doesn't make any. You can sit there and say, "Well, this guy got a raise to 150 grand." Well, maybe the guy was underpaid so badly in the marketing. He's a critical resource, but he makes it sound like they're just pissing money away. It's very, very, very juvenile, immature leadership, and that is not the way. And it doesn't matter whether it's a government. You have basic principles of leadership. It's just like crazy. It was like watching some cartoon.
Okay.
Well, and
continue.
you don't know too. I just want to interject one thing. You don't know who is it that got the raise. Is it someone that completed a degree? Is it somebody
Exactly.
that completed some training and then
Yes.
because of that they got the promotion and they got the raise? I mean, you had no more information as to why they got it.
Well, they need to have an emergency council meeting to buy into agile budgeting or Lean Six Sigma or something, so that they can train their county employees on how to deliver exactly what he's wanting. Because if they've not had that training, they're not going to be able to deliver what he wants.
I don't disagree, but the thing is, they're not.
Are you for hire?
They're not even at that level. They're not even at that. We're talking about just the basic leadership.
Well, what you're talking about, you don't need a county administrator. Let's go ahead and save that money on salary. If Matt's going to call the shots and it's got to go through him, then it doesn't need to go through Amanda Brock. Forget her. Take Amanda, throw her out of the equation. Okay, there's your $100-something thousand salary you saved to county taxpayers. We don't need no administrator anymore. Am I right?
You're right. And you know what? He loves to take pot shots. What does he do for a job? He sits and looks at a screen and turns a button on and off on a reactor.
We're not even nowhere here close to it yet, but we don't even need a county attorney.
No.
All right, let's continue.
You're right, Jeff.
To the hardworking men and women of this county. And with that said, I'm going to make a motion to adopt the fiscal year 2022-23 budget for fiscal year 2023-2024 with the following amendments. A 3% COLA increase for all county employees, including elected officials, minus the county council. The $1,012,448 is to be distributed to each department's general ledger code, minus the $356,765 in salary savings of vacant positions identified by the county administrator during budget preparations. $1,400,000 to be added to fire and emergency services for Oconee fire medical contributions for a total expenditure total of $3,958,074, and the department total of $6,948,614. $20,000 to be added to a professional line item for the community cats program under the animal control budget. I'm also going to make the motion to add an additional $25,000 to the other Humane Society Fund for expenditure total of $312,500, and for a department total of $758,941. Total public safety budget, $26,824,328. To amend the airport budget by subtracting the $384,056 line item for matching grant for an expenditure total of $1,383,650, and the department total of $1,708,593. Total transportation budget, $4,753,836. To adopt the county administrator's recommended fiscal year 2023-2024 delinquent tax collector budget of $401,439. To adopt the county administrator's recommended fiscal year 2023-24 human resources budget of $352,799. To adopt the county administrator's recommended fiscal year 2023-24 budget for one-time capital of $592,250. to adopt the county administrator's recommended fiscal year 2023, 2024
But now watch this, how he shows he's an elitist.
culture and recreation budget of $3,930,800. To adopt the county administrator's recommended fiscal year 2023-24 health and welfare budget of $958,331. To adopt the county administrator's recommended fiscal year 2023-24 non-departmental budget of $1,900,000. To adopt the county administrator's recommended fiscal year 2023-24 other financial uses budget of $85,000. And with the above amendments, the budget total is $60,766,345. I make the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion second.
But Mr. Durham, this is third reading of the budget for Oconee County. If we pass this, it means the public does not have any comment. We had a public hearing on a budget that you're now proposing won't exist. I'm not sure we're treating the public right. And Mr. Root, I look at you, I mean, to me, this is a problem.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yes, sir.
I do have concerns with material change to the budget. It almost turns it into a different ordinance, which of course would require 3 readings. If we can move past the notion that it's a different ordinance, but it's just such a material change. Of course, the council members haven't, I don't know if all council members have not had a chance to prepare. We've had 2 public hearings on the current budget at the stated amount, so the public hasn't had a chance to prepare.
All right, there is your first clue that there's a problem.
Big time.
This comes from an attorney that has been employed and has saved the county millions of dollars for the last several years. He's already throwing the red flags up that there is a problem. You're taking this budget prior to all of this that was kind of set in stone. You've already had your public hearings. This was supposed to be the third and the vote. You're starting to change the whole dynamics of it. So now, is the chairman right, or do we believe the county attorney?
Well, let me ask.
You need to get in front of your microphone, Chris. Y'all too.
Okay, so the one thing is, and I hope you're going to play the part where Durham then says, well, we have our audience.
Yep, it's coming.
Well,
Okay.
but did you hear how he wanted to give every other elected official a 3% COLA increase, except for the county council? He feels that he's in a position of, elevated position of everyone around him. And that's because he's got that great job over there. You know, Homer Simpson had that same job. But he feels now that he's got some power, he's going to lord over the county and say, ha, 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 look, I'm not going to take this cost of living raise, but you guys can have 3%. But we've got offices that are shared between county employees, city employees, and state employees. And these people are working together, and state employees got a 5% cost of living
Yes, they did.
assessment.
Yes, they did.
You know that now, how does that work for morale in the office? If you're in one of those positions and you're over there and man, you got 3%, they got, you can afford your gas to get to work all week and all month. But this guy that got 3%, he can't.
You know what? You know what? The thing about it is when you watch the dynamics going on here and you look at his leadership style, it reminds me of somebody that's coming into a position and they're so full of themselves that they're forgetting one very important rule. And this is one that even when I was retired and consulting or whatever, I never forgot. The smartest thing you can do is you can listen to really understand. And the minute you start shutting people up with edicts and this type of arrogance, I can guarantee you're making enemies. And nobody is listening to you, and everybody's going to turn.
No,
they're already turning.
You're absolutely right.
Well, you look at it.
Go ahead, Kathy. Go ahead.
You look at it. It's exactly what you said. You've got people in the same office, and I don't know how it all got set up that way, doing essentially the same job, same salary, and some of them are state employees technically, and some of them are county. So it's exactly right. Some of them are going to get that 5% cost of living raise because that's what inflation is. And then these other guys are going to get this 3% piddling raise that they decided on. And you can't say that there's not going to be some, I don't know, some angst there. I mean, I would be angry about it.
There's
If
going
I
to be
was there.
people pissed off.
They're going to be
So-
ticked.
so-
I mean,
Roger is correct, and that's what we're trying to point out, and we're going to play more of the clips here. But the attorney pointed out this budget is not the one that went through the required process,
Right.
and that is
and
a
he
pure
brought up-
violation.
So,
Well-
but let's go back to what Chris was saying just a second ago. Kathy, you're absolutely right. It's with everything you said. But every organization worth its salt sends their executives through some sort of boot camp where they have to go down to the deck plates, walk with the crew, go to the different departments and understand what's going on. And I can bet you $1 to donut that after seeing what he has done with this budget, that he's never been to not one of those departments and said, boo, bang, I hate you, fuck you, anything to him. He don't know anything about what's going on in the county other than these rumors that he's getting fed like that crap about the rock quarry. I mean, we read in the paper 9 months ago, hold on, let me finish. 9 months ago that the rock crusher was $9 million ahead in profitability at the 6-month mark. Now, if they kept that up to the end of the year ago, there'll be $18 million ahead in profitability. That's half of what Duke pays in taxes to the county in excess profit above what they brought in. And then he's going to attack the rock crusher for being closed because a belt broke.
Look, we've been hearing this thing about this rock crusher for
No, but we
15
don't need-
years.
well, it's all because somebody's building a house and they needed rocks right then.
Well, he
I
said-
mean, it's been the underlying theme since he got
Yeah.
back. Everybody that comes in that gets heard is one of their buddies. I mean,
Right.
it took 3 times for them to address the Humane Society. So
listen to the good
about-
part. Listen to the good
the
part,
public
Kathy.
defenders came in and they've yet to address the public defender's office after they came in. Why
Right.
did it take 3 times for them to come in for them to do anything?
Listen to the ultimate in arrogance, Kathy.
Hold
That's
on.
coming up.
Here, hang on just a second. Kathy was talking about that in one of the 50-something jobs that have been posted. They were hiring an assistant solicitor, special investigator. That's been canned, by the way, now.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that's been canned, by the way.
Who's going to investigate the crime scene?
Nobody. It's we don't need anybody.
Who?
Matt
Yes, you
Durham.
do.
Matt
Yes,
Durham.
No,
do.
you know
Well,
how
I'm sorry,
he
he's not
feels about the
qualified.
solicitor's office
He's not
because of what
qualified.
he said last year during the summer. You can know exactly why he cut funding to them. And
Which
if
is
you don't,
exactly why he does not deserve to make these calls. It is
well, it should be
illegitimate.
against the law for
illegitimate.
him to do that.
He should recuse himself.
Yeah.
He should, and so should his 2 buddies
All
up
right.
there because
Let
they're
me-
all in their little club.
All right, let's continue now for we're getting to the good stuff. Just bear with us.
So cast the pale, at least in my mind, on what involvement the public's been allowed to have in deliberations that council's been allowed to have on this particular budget. It's a concern. Doesn't mean it's negatory or for naught if you pass this. I don't know, but I guess someone will challenge it and we can find out.
My comment to that is, we've had public hearing, the public spoke, and we're responding to the public comments.
Okay, now this is the big one right here. Rainey, you take it first.
So the public commented on a budget that was proposed and read twice. He responded by throwing the budget away and going back to a budget that he scrutinized with Mickey Haney and them guys and said it was a terrible budget 2 years ago. Now, all of a sudden, is it acceptable? Other than the fact, this is just a power play by a juvenile leader who has no idea what he's doing.
Exactly, Chris.
Okay, so when you look at this, basically, they had the public comments, and everybody agreed, and then all of a sudden comes this switcheroo where he dumped the $5 million or whatever, And they're like, what the hell's going on? And he said, well, we had public, or having them now, which is stacked with every one of his guys that conveniently seem to be following some script. And then you go to the restaurant and they're all throwing out their symbols and stuff where, hey, look what we did. Okay, that's not impressive. A bunch of bullies. And what's happening is you've got, well, now you're down 12% on employees. All these county employees expecting these guys to protect them and lead them and invigorate them, and all they're getting is just this crap. And it's crazy.
Hey, but the county's running just fine.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
we're getting to that. Trust me. All right, let's continue here.
Yes, sir, Mr. Davis.
Do you have that printed out for all council to look at?
If you want to take a 5-minute recess, we can print it.
Mr. Durham,
Mr. Hart, do you have it printed out, what the amendments were?
I wasn't sitting here, right?
Mr. Mize, do you have a printout of what the amendments were?
copy in front of me now. Mr. Durham, I mean, back to what you just said. The public hasn't had a chance to have a public hearing on what you're proposing. There may be different people coming in about you cutting the budget by $5 million. I don't think this is right.
All right, so let's go back and let's take this. Okay, so here we are. We had all of these amendment changes. Glenn Hart, who was the king of wanting to know line by item, and then on these amendments, he wouldn't vote for last year. He didn't vote for the airport, if everybody remembers. Don doesn't have anything. Julian doesn't, nor does John Elliott. But the king does.
Well, what I don't understand is how you could make such significant changes to the budget without at least putting them out weeks ahead of time.
I know how I know why.
But here's the thing. Over in the Republican Party, we added a bylaw that said we could have a meeting with 24 hours notice. Well, that dipshit and the big one and the rest of them that's on that list of 25, they all threw a fit about, oh my God, we can't have that meeting without that notice. Well, what they've done right here when he did this is done exactly what they told us we were wrong for trying to do.
That's true.
Okay.
So, well, hold on. I've been on boards. I was on one of the largest HOA boards in the state of Texas when I lived in San Antonio. We couldn't bring up an amendment to anything had it not been turned into the other directors for at least 5 days. Now, Julian and John and Mr. Hart and Mr. Mize, they should have all had a copy of that 5 days earlier so that they could have posted it somewhere so their constituents could have seen it and they could have talked about it. The dynamic of the meeting room would have been different had it went that way instead of instead of Durham saying, hey guys, to this list of 20, 25, 12 people or whatever it is, and I got it and I'll read them and I'll tell you who all the shitbags in the county are. But here's the thing. If he hadn't rounded them up to get them there so they could play patty cake with one another and he could say, well, there was people in the audience and somebody spoke up, the dynamic of the room would have been different because people would have come down there. I mean, Kathy, you wrote a letter that didn't even get read.
That did not get read.
So they were punishing other people that had a differing view than what they had. And that kind of oppressive shit is what puts people in cages.
Okay. So can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So
Bring on the chemical shower, I guess.
okay, well, look at this. You know what? It's not hard. They're not very good at this. This staging, what was going on, the crap that he's pulling, he's pulling levers with these guys in the yards, everything else. In the end, what this does is it gives you no confidence whatsoever. And then you got a newspaper that's applauding it. This is wrong. This is unethical.
Okay, now I want to stop. I'm going to take the video back. Watch this.
Good evening. I just wanted to say that I don't envy any one of you who sit up there on that stage. You have an incredibly difficult job in keeping the county running while keeping the expense on the taxpayer as low as possible. So what I'm struggling to understand is why are some wanting the county to spend more money? Obviously, as county councilman, you are not exempt from paying taxes just like the rest of us. Neither are county employees. So why has the county budget increased more than County growth and inflation combined over
Absolutely bullshit. Now, do I need to say anything else?
No,
Why does
was
it
it
sound
Lewis
like
Collins?
Why does it sound like that guy's crying every time he talks?
All right, you ready for another one?
Who? Him?
Hey,
Lewis?
I'm
Yeah.
showing you who your audience is. So let's go to
Wait. Look, I found him on the list of shitheads. He's right here.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Let me see if he's got a title. Nope. But GWH3387 is his call sign on the old yahoo.com.
Okay, let's hear the other one. Now, here is just the greatest one.
I purchased around 800 tons of rock from the quarry. Many times I had to wait because the quarry has been down, and waiting on something as simple as rock can slow the process of building a house, and it hurts the individuals delivering the rock. Here lately, the quarry has been down more than normal. It was down today, as a matter of fact. This is a large moneymaker for our county.
Boo hoo hoo. You couldn't get your damn rock.
Listen. 800 tons in his little tandem tow behind trailer that's destroying the mountain as he hits every guardrail going up and down through there.
Well,
That's 133 times that he's been up and down that mountain since he started building that shithole house over there. Right?
Yeah.
Can somebody talk to him about the carbon emissions that he's putting into the air, where he could have just hired a dump truck and had that brought to him at 40 times? 40 times. He didn't have to go down there for a 1/3 of the year. 133 loads. If you got one load a day, that's more than a third of the year he spent going to the rock.
Well, let me ask you something. Will it pass inspection if you frame with zip ties?
It might. But hey, those zip ties are.
Oh, no,
hey,
sorry. I can't help myself. Sorry.
Chris,
Get that devil
those
off
zip
my-
ties are called hurricane clips. And no,
All right,
you probably didn't use them.
Let's get back
Yeah,
on
come
track.
on, Randy,
All
get
right, so
serious
now
about
we're going to
this.
go back to where we were at. I wanted to go back. There's your audience. I showed you who your audience was.
Oh, yeah.
And wait. He's on this list too. I just want to let you know.
Now, here we go. Let's
oh,
move
my
on.
God. Well, Lordy is a manufacturing engineer.
It's gonna operate up until June 30th on a $60 million budget. If we pass it, July 1st, it goes in effect. What's one day?
How do you know what budget we're passing?
He just read it out.
What was the fourth thing you read?
Can you quote everything he just said?
Quote
I
me
can't
what
quote it, but I see a $5 million reduction in budget.
I see a $5 million reduction in budget. No, not really. Go ahead, guys.
But what did he just say though? He back that up and let's listen to Glenn.
I'm
Holt one more
sorry, but
time.
if you
That-
pronounce the word million, then you do not need to.
Kathy, come on now.
Hold on, hold on.
That's uncalled for.
Hold on.
Budget. It's gonna operate up until June 30th on a $60 million budget. If we pass it, July 1st, it goes in effect. What's one day?
How do you know what budget we're passing?
He just read it out.
Okay, there's your problem right there.
He just read it out. Don Mize does not care what's in the budget. He doesn't care about the people. He doesn't care about anything that other than pleasing the potentate.
Well, he
You're
didn't even
wrong.
care about having that seat. I don't even know why he's there, dude. I mean, I don't even get it. Did he even win? I mean, did y'all read the paper the other day? Because they said 1,100 and something votes, and I'm pretty decent at math.
I still haven't got an answer on that one.
So, but
I mean, what is going on?
He just read it right there, but 3/4 of the county didn't understand what he said at all.
Who? Okay, so let me just say one thing. Before he was sworn in, I saw him in Food Lion, and I introduced myself, and I congratulated him, and I said, listen, all I hope is that you do the right thing and you're independent. He goes, I will do that. I promise you. I'm not going to trash him. I'm going to tell him, you're better than this, and this is disappointing. You hanging around with people like Durham and Hart that basically Hart just parroting whatever he says. This is not right for the county. Your constituents are not being treated fairly when you do that, Don.
All right.
You might be disappointed, but I saw this coming a million miles away. a million miles away, I knew what kind of council member he was going to be. And you can't change my mind that he's going to change me any different.
Well,
I'm not going to try to change it because I'm very thoroughly disappointed in just how he reacted
Is
to
that-
that.
thank you.
I mean, it's just common knowledge. You have to pass a budget, you know. And he goes back to Matt said something. We spend too much. Well, you've got to do a budget to know what you can spend. You know, let me just say, for example, again, here's what we're not spending. Number one, we're not spending a radio communication system that will keep our first responders better in touch, because if you're a fireman or a rescue, you know that the county radio system suck. Okay. So we're not going to do that. Something that could save the county people. We're not going to do that. Okay.
But hold on just a minute. In any of his amendments, he didn't say that they were going to take out the money for all the special projects that they did, right?
Right here it is.
There it is.
So
let him go through it. Let him go through it. Put it on
Oh,
the
wait,
air.
wait. I want to ask one really quick question. Did they ever get defibrillators for any of the county facilities or the offices or anything?
Not, I don't know.
They did not have. So if you croak out anywhere like Pine Street, God help you, if you start to have a heart attack at the any of their facilities, you're on your own because there's no defibrillators.
All right, let me go finish. Right now, there's an issue at the detention center where things are happening to the sewer system at the detention center, where inmates are stopping up the toilets and stuff. They wanted to put a bar screen for the sewer to solve that problem, to keep from having to come in and continually unclog the sewer system. So we're cutting that out $150-something thousand, and we're cutting out $20,000.
But we're getting a sewer at 85.
We're getting a sewer at 85. Exactly. Let's see here. Capital expenditures. This would be for solid waste. We're cutting $650,000 for a scale house and scales. And we already talked about the vehicle maintenance. See, these are facts right here. This is all facts of what I've got. That these are things that the county government needs and our department heads need to keep the county business running through. You can't do it. The way we're doing this is just absolutely.
Jeff, can I say one thing?
Yeah, then I want to get back to the video.
Okay. So when you look at this and people are saying we're spending too much and blah, 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 and all that, you don't have any context on that. You could have a budget of $20 million, so these people are going to be complaining that we're spending too much. The thing about it is, these guys talked about going line item on a budget and justified it. And when I was working and we're fighting for dollars, we called it food fights. I had to have the story better than my peer because we were competing for the same money. And I not only had to have a better story, I had to make bigger commitments, and I was held accountable. Nobody does any of the details. Nobody has the context. Nobody knows what's going on behind the scenes. They just sit there and say, we're spending too much. How the hell do you know we're spending too much? You don't even know what it's all for.
Might not be spending enough.
Exactly.
Well,
we don't know.
But like I said earlier when we first got started, this budget thing that he is all theater, and the county's going to keep running. Those department heads are just going to have to come up there and get on their knees and grovel and slobber and gargle and whatever they can do to get some money from this guy to keep the county going.
Yeah.
And it'll have to happen, or he'll have to give the money to keep the county going.
It's politics.
But the thing about it is, when the actuals come out this year, the county's probably going to be under budget and over, and they're going to have a surplus of money because that rock crusher did so well that
they don't have a county manager.
But really, what he's caused now is the county fire department is going to have to go back down to the State Fire Academy and ask them for the curriculum to Firefighter 3, where they teach them to ride unicycles and carry a pail of water on their head. Because hey, who needs two wheels? It's Oconee County.
Well, you cut all the trucks too.
That's what I'm saying.
And by the way, you cut the funding for the Bountyland Fire substation that's being built right now. I don't think there's any money in the budget to staff it.
Well,
but you're going to build a building.
So you can't staff it. So that means you'll have to staff it with people that are going to come from somewhere else. But only that, but they did a hiring freeze. So that means that on this paper you got here that says that the motor pool is that only got three people working over
and
there.
And another one.
But they can't. But here's the thing: they can't hire nobody else because of this hiring freeze. Now we got trucks that are broken. the county motor pool's in charge of fire trucks and all of this stuff from roads and bridges, all the county deputies' cars, all of the cars. Now, if you've got 3 people trying to put the maintenance on 700 cars, how's that going to work? And then you're paying them $37,000 a year and expecting them to buy $20,000 worth of tools for themselves. If I was that mechanic and it's just me and the director and this one other dude they call Splinter because he's a prick and he gets under everybody else's skin, I'd be finding me another job.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
Jeff, can I say something?
Yeah, we got to move on.
I know. I'm going to be quick, but Randy keeps stealing all my time. Okay, guys.
Listen to the budget. It's not the budget.
So here it is. What you have done is you have a county manager that's been totally neutered. The directors now know really it does not matter what she says. It's what this guy says. So you've crossed that bridge that nobody should ever cross in this type of leadership in the government.
But you saw that when that dude from HBO series came in there and was talking about how he used to get dirty deeds done dirt cheap in the planning office. And that he wanted that done again because he's a celebrity, been there at that McMillions thing, and for all of his developments. And then the first thing that they wanted to do, Lord Fauntleroy wanted to do was mount a posse and go after the down.
Well, would you please repeat all that so we can understand it
All
again?
right, time out.
I'm joking.
Okay. Chris gave me the perfect segue to end my silence with this bogus route gold record. The county budget is now being allotted by the NWA.
Wait a minute. Whoa. What is it? Who said that? What is that now?
The NWA.
Yeah, that's John Littleton, by the way.
Oh man.
Oh, I got to see that.
All right, I got to move on. So,
no, but for real,
it's Randy. It's not me. You keep giving me the stank guy.
All right,
I got to move on.
What was the fourth thing you read?
Can you quote everything he just said?
Quote me what it,
but I see a $5 million reduction in budget.
well, what if I propose a $10 million reduction in budget? Will you pass that?
Get every one of these folks stand up and applaud you.
I have a motion.
I don't see that applause.
I have a motion and a second.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yes.
there's an error in one of your calculations. The $340,000 grant match is not included in current year budget, and therefore that amount would not be reduced.
It was in fiscal year 23-24 budget book.
The
that I had in my
amended
hand.
budget, that was not the original adopted budget.
Okay.
I just need a clarification there.
The
I
budget
feel like
we're
I kept
operating
up.
under. The motion is for the budget we're currently
The amended
operating
budget,
on.
okay.
The amended budget.
Okay.
Budget we're operating under.
So you read all your amendments out. We have no idea what they are. Besides, I guess I can go back and go through all of this stuff. We've had several budget meetings, and I remember someone, I have to figure out who it was, talking about we need to go line by line through the budget. We need to have this huge
All right, there. I'm going to stop it. Who made the statement last year that we've got to have line by line budgeting? Do y'all know?
They parroted that the whole time.
Last year, that's all we heard. That
From all of them.
From every one of them, we've got to have line by line by line.
Well, here's
Haven't seen it yet.
Here's the thing: is they wanted to do that then, but they want that now without doing that. It's like, it's like trying to negotiate with a 5-year-old.
Why do I smell Mickey Haney behind all of this?
Who's that?
Well, anyway.
Transparent budget.
Please
so
don't make us
everybody has the ability to come up and talk about it. And we go through all this stuff. We have the least amount of budget meetings. You've been back for the entire budget process. We've had, minus the first one, we've had the least amount of budget meetings that we've ever had since I've been on council. This is the least transparent budget, and now changing it. Okay, let's operate on $10 million. That's the thing. We don't even know, how can you vote on something that regardless of the amount, you don't even know what it is?
Mr. Davis,
We can cut, I'm still speaking, sir. We can sit out here and cut a lot of stuff out if y'all want to, and we don't even know the repercussions of it. Passing a budget is huge. It is the biggest thing that we do in this entire year. The biggest thing that we do. And to sit up here and cast a budget that we don't even know what it even is because the amendments are up here, and if y'all can quote them, great. If y'all can quote them, I'll go home. If you can quote what he stated, unless y'all have had meetings before then and you know what's on there, then I'll just go home.
That's the thing.
But
That's the thing.
There it
That's
is.
the thing.
It
They've
is. You
had
called it.
meetings and,
Sure
and
they have.
before then and without them. That's the whole thing.
So you're saying that Matt Durham and Don Mize and Glenn Hart have met outside of council
Of
chambers
course they
and
have.
discussed this without the county administrator, without the other two councilmen.
3's a quorum.
So
yeah, and then
you're-
add the
you're
other
telling-
people that came up there and spoke.
So you're telling me that this is a shadow government that's
Yep.
taking over our country.
That's what,
This is the swamp from DC right here. We see the swamp right now.
It is. It's the truth. This
wanna
is the
get-
swamp.
you know what? They came up. This swamp monster
The
comes
deep
out.
state.
The deep state. And this thing came out. Oh, we're going to be grassroots, whatever. And all of a sudden, they're worse than Nancy Pelosi.
Well,
okay.
No,
Let's
Of
not
course.
let's not go
no,
off
they
topic.
like Pelosi.
of course they had meetings, which is illegal. Somebody, one of our listeners pops up.
Yes.
You know it. It's
Well,
true.
it's not
And we're
even-
not that stupid. These people, these 3 right here thinks that we're just dumb, blind, stupid, and ignorant.
But the problem is, most of their constituents are following right in line behind them.
What?
Because
The
there's-
12 damn people sitting in council chambers?
Yeah,
The
but they're-
12 of them
but they-
poking and prodding each other and
But
texting
there's
each other
such-
in the middle of council?
There's such low information voters here that and that's how they got.
What have
that's
I-
Well,
how they got-
the only thing that anybody seems to care about or keeps thinking about, either they don't have family or friends that work for the county in this instance, but the only thing they want to hear is that their taxes are low. Well, let me
But-
tell you something here. You get what you pay for. So enjoy your potholes. Enjoy your potholes. And
elections have
enjoy the fact that
consequences.
when you go to the man convenience center and it's locked up because ain't nobody there to take your garbage, you got to figure out what to do with it. And enjoy the fact that there's trash all over the roads because people are going to get fed up and just throw it down.
Well,
And
we
enjoy-
got a problem
you-
there, Kathy. Kathy, we've got a problem right there. They didn't approve. They've cut the line item for. We have to take our garbage over to Homer, Georgia, like $900-something thousand is what we pay, and they went up this year,
Great.
so
Just
that's
great.
cut. Pub Blue now is the new council chamber. Absolutely.
Good job. Now, can I
Hey,
say one
well,
thing? It's my turn. You keep talking. Can I say one thing? Okay. So all of this
Well,
is
they-
in the air, and people seem to forget 2 very important things. First of all, you've got Sewer South that we don't even know if there's a return on it. And there was a guy in the chambers that quietly talked about it from the joint authority who said they have a
million.
maintenance backlog. How much is a maintenance backlog?
Wasn't it 50 million?
I think it's 50 million. What did you say? Speak up, sir.
50 million.
I think it's 50 million. Exactly. 50 million.
But
Now,
remember, that's not funded by county, though.
who pays for it?
Well, you got 3 sister cities. You've got Seneca, you got Walhalla, and you got Westminster. And they're responsible there to fund the sewer. The county's off the hook.
So the county doesn't have to worry about that. So if that thing blows up on
when
them, it's 100 million. It doesn't
it-
impact
when
anybody.
it fails and there's shit in the streets, the
Exactly.
county's on the hook.
And then the county will care because they
Yeah.
have to take
Yeah.
that in consideration.
Where are the 3 sister cities housed in the county? I mean, come on, y'all.
Before we
It's
get back
just
to the video, I got to bring this up.
But listen.
Mary Ann says, 3 amigos go to 3 amigos after
That's
council
right,
meetings.
too.
Mary,
That's
that's a
exactly
good one.
right. They
So,
do.
but here's what's going to happen. This budget thing, like I said, it doesn't matter. It's about people and the way he treated every county employee. I stand behind what I'm saying. They should go and get one of those $50,000 a year jobs that within 35 miles of Walhalla. It's on Indeed.com. 2,400 of them. But here's the thing: when the effluence from this reaches the affluence, that's when people are going to start to influence him. Now, when all this shit starts affecting the rich people around here, that's when he's going to pay.
Let's finish up the video here.
It doesn't matter that the county, the citizens demand us to do what's right. It's not about a dollar figure, okay? It is important to make sure that we are doing what is right to the citizens of this county. And to pass a budget because somebody said, 60, I've never budgeted on $65 million number. Why don't we budget on needs? It may be 60, it may be 55, it may be 50.
So Nancy Pelosi once said, you gotta pass it to know what's in it. You brought up Pelosi. Sounds like we're gonna have to pass it to know what's in it, Mr. Durham.
So what this does is it takes last year's budget, brings it forward, or the current operating budget, and then it captures the savings the administration found in.
All right. We bring a budget forward, but in last year's budget, you had capital projects that was a part of that 60 million. So what are you going to do with
companies in industry, I'll say in industry, companies that pull budgets forward and just try to do the same thing they did last year fail. They fail miserably. This budget needs to be a living, working document. You are working on next year's budget while you're sitting at your desk every day.
I'm going to put a project for you guys. Kathy, let's see if we can find anything going on around Oconee from any other county that is doing their budget the exact way we're doing ours. Is that fair enough?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see if we can find anything remotely close that any other county, whether it's Greenville, Anderson, Spartanburg, any other county in South Carolina that has done what we did.
Dillon County.
Did they do that?
Yeah, another poorest county in the state.
When did Dillon do that?
I don't know, but the highest paying people over there, according to the website, the median income is $10,000.
What about the $121 million in Greenville County that's being paid for Woodruff Road?
Okay.
Certain departmental budgets, and then it gives us an opportunity to go forward as the actual numbers come out, and we can amend the budget as necessary by doing a proper budget process, by the request being met with rigor and scrutiny to what's needed by the county, to actually have a employee salary program that fits, that works, taking the hard route on that and doing what's right versus what's been done for years of kicking the can down the road.
What? Wait a minute. What can?
The can he just kicked down the road. Let's just use last year's budget. That's kicking the can
That's
down
kicking
the road.
it down. I mean, we haven't even really discussed if you're operating on last year's budget at 60 million and you're doing a 3% raise. Am I right to assume that there's something wrong with this picture, that it doesn't add up?
Yeah.
But you listen to Davis. Davis is right. He says it could be anything. The problem is they don't know. You're just arbitrarily cutting the cut, and you don't know the impact of what's. I mean, that's just that. Nobody does that. I mean,
He's just doing it for applause.
Exactly, and we don't even know. I tell you what, we do know when this thing goes belly up, because I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is going to get worse.
Dale,
you watch.
I want to comment on something you've just posted. These jokers sit in front of a banner that says, "Think Oconee, invest." What about investing in your employees? Rule number 1 of economic development. You know, impressions are the first thing. And for example, we have citizens that come in and do business in our tax offices, register of deeds. You know, they're the first line of communication for Oconee County. It's the people. And right now, our county employees, I hate to say this, but you have been shit on.
Yeah.
There is no other way. You have been completely shit on. You have been screwed. Now you've got someone that you're probably going to have to report to, because we don't need the administrator. Basically, we have 3 people right now that's become the HR of Oconee County. So if you want a job, I recommend you sending all your resumes to Matt Durham, and he's the one that's going to determine if your job is appropriate or not. And if it doesn't fit his narrative or the narrative of the 12 damn people that was sitting in that council chamber,
exactly,
there's your problem. Can I just say this? This is beyond, this completely has gone beyond anything Democratic or Republican. This has gone far beyond
nonpartisan. This is just human.
There's something more developing here, and I'm going to explain what I mean in just a few moments.
Group?
Well, I don't even know about the extremist portion of it. I think there's something more going on here. And let me finish up the video here because we're going to get to more of the stuff. There's a few more things I want to get in here in this conversation.
Okay.
I call the vote.
Might as well. They're gonna do whatever you tell them to do, Mr. Durham.
You'll need a supermajority to call the vote, so that it would take 4.
Well, you're not gonna get that.
We're not gonna.
Unfortunately, this is disrespectful to the staff that worked hard on the budget. This is disrespectful to the citizen and the process that's always been done. I agree with making changes to the budget. I agree with that. But we go, again, this whole thing about transparency and line by line and standing out here, I mean, you know, like I said, I'm not going to bring that up. You already brought that up. I'm not.
Again, I'm going to bring it up again. All last year, the budget had to be line by line.
Mm-hmm.
How many times did we hear Mickey Haney last year come up? It's up to y'all. We need to go through this budget line by line.
By the way, he's not an accountant or anything, right?
No.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he may think.
But here's the thing. There's a lack of ownership in this from the council. The council doesn't own this now. One person owns it, and he doesn't even know what it is.
Who?
Durham.
He's running the show. It's him.
But here's the thing. He's taken this thing from everyone. Now he had 9 months off to do nothing. But garden and Victory Gardens and Tractor Therapy.
No, actually, what he was doing was helping survey.
Well, whatever. But I mean, he wasn't looking at the budget, obviously, because he could have came out and said, "Hey, look, I crushed all these numbers, and I see that this place and this spot and that spot and another spot that could really use some tightening up." Now he could have brought that to Amanda Brock and said, "What do you think about this? Can you talk to these directors and get back to us on that?" Instead, he just don't give a shit about what she said, about what they said, about nobody says. He wants to listen to some moron that can't get up a mountain, but 133 times with his damn gravel.
The VP.
The VP of the extremist organization that are putting signs up all over Mountain Rest, that are attacking other people.
Exactly.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh, there's going to be great big signs and stuff about the OCC and all this stuff coming out right across the road from the trash dump. And I tell you what, man, the guy that's letting them do that, he ought to be ashamed.
Hey, look at that. Look at that desk, that big desk all across that platform. It's Durham has thrown so many turds on the table during this meeting. I don't even know how these guys can keep working. There's no room for anything.
It's not turds, it's diarrhea.
Well, yeah, it is. It's barf. Well, barf from Davis Elliott. But I mean, I'm telling you, these guys, you've got people doing this that I don't begrudge them if they haven't experienced it. I begrudge them for not listening to people that are good resources that know what the hell they're talking about.
They don't care.
Elliott does.
Yeah,
Davis
does.
does. You
does.
need to say, "Hey, listen, man. All you got to do is go to Elliott. Hey, listen. What are the pitfalls? What are your suggestions? Listen to him. You might not agree with him, but the guy knows what he's talking about. It's just stupid."
All of this that happened on Tuesday night, I can say one thing. This makes Wayne McCall look like a saint.
Oh God, yeah.
Seriously, I was thinking that while I was watching.
Man, he's going to cut all the trees down now. You mentioned his name.
No, I know. I'm serious.
No. Seriously,
Go ahead, Kathy.
seriously. Listen. At least Wayne McCall gives a crap about people.
He does.
I mean, honestly, he does. He actually cared about the people that worked for the county. He actually was up there trying to get money for the people that worked for the county. So yeah, I mean, there's no comparison.
No comparison. He actually rolled his sleeves up and did things to get in there to help Oconee County. He helped some of the employees. He did that. Wayne McCall did that. There's a big difference. Now, I can't stand him. I personally think he's crazy, but in the aspect of apples and oranges, he did what I would think a council member should do. He helped his community.
Yeah,
he
no,
did.
no comparison. No
Elections
comparison
have
whatsoever.
consequences.
All right, let's move on. You're right,
No,
Rainey.
hey, elections have consequences, and when they try to get when Walhalla elects that King fella to be mayor next year, elections have consequences.
Let me go ahead and this is public knowledge. City administrator for Walhalla, Brandon Burton, is leaving. He has taken a position with is it Virginia?
It's
a firefighter, a deputy fire chief, I think. So yeah, Brandon Burton is leaving as administrator. And Rainey, I believe you are spot on in what you just said.
What did you say?
Grant King's going to run for mayor.
I'm shocked.
And if you want to know the truth, here's the playbook direct from the OCC. We're going to have Matt Durham going to run after Whitmire, Bill Whitmire's seat. And you're going to have, oh yes, it's coming. Absolutely, it's coming. You mark what I tell you.
Well, I mean, he can try.
I know that. I get it, what you're saying, but he's going to, and I guarantee you, as sure as the sun rises tomorrow, we're going to see Perry Smith, District 2 County Council. Mark what I'm telling you.
I gotta tell you what. Elections have consequences, and if the people in District 2 are that stupid, if they're that stupid to have him represent them, they deserve, and the county deserves, everything happens from that point on.
I think the county right now deserves everything that they're getting because it's been told over and over again by the local newspaper owner that it was his intent that he was going to break Oconee County, and he won. He absolutely won because we have went over the falls at Ezequin at Stump House, and we have landed in the middle. I'm sorry, you may disagree with that, Rainey, but it's true. It is here. It is absolutely everything I told y'all that was going to happen.
Hey, just when you think you're at rock bottom, life will remind you rock bottom has a basement.
Okay, so
we've not seen anything.
Notice what I said. We've went off the cliff.
Yeah.
We haven't hit rock bottom yet. It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
But we've already pushed the county over the cliff. And again, as long as you have 12 people sitting over in the corner laughing and poking each other and using obscenities of other people, this is what you're going to get.
So I want to know why they weren't asked to leave. That's my whole thing.
Well, because the sheriff has no.
Because they're intimidating. They intimidate
the sheriff
people.
Has no balls, and he's owned by them. That's why they'll chase a $2 notebook for him, but won't go after a crackhead.
You want to know something?
In their own department.
There's a big change coming to the sheriff's department real soon.
Let me recap something because Jeff, Randy, Kathy, I want to say one thing. So with this thing with key and money and this plan of succession on these other items, this is exactly this is the script that now I'm not saying it's actually very smart. This is a script that's being run around the country. It's happening across the country. These extremist groups are taking over, and you know what? The people they see it, but they don't. They just like it's not worth it to them. They're very complacent. But what's going to happen? This is going to get worse, and it's going to be financially very bad for this county over the next year or two with these mistakes that are being made. And do not think for a second, $60 million, $70 million, that's not much money at all for a county. That being said, that means it's very easily because counties go belly up, and then the next thing you know, you're in trouble.
Hey, when this county loses its AAA credit rating and can't get municipal bonds to fix the problem,
there you go.
These projects, then what? Then
what
county,
do? Do you get taken over by the state? Guys, there are counties that do this, cities that do this. They go belly up and they go bankrupt. Well, this happens.
Yeah, but here in the 1980s, I think it was like 1982, the mayor of Key West, Florida, he like renounced the citizenship of his town and said they're no longer Americans. And then he filed for financial aid. There's some weird stuff. And you know what? We may find ourselves having to do something like that. Give ourselves back to the Cherokee Indians.
No, give ourselves no. We go back to Pickens County from once we came. Let Pickens County inherit us.
But the thing about it is,
I mean, I'm getting audiobooks. I don't need to read any books over there. They're out in the library.
I mean, seriously, What if there's no, let's say there's something that happens, a catastrophic event for Oconee County, and you don't have anything budgeted, but you're going to just go through floating around. You got the 60 million, you have that general fund balance, and I'm sorry, this is just, it's wrong.
Well, sure it is.
Well, but again, it comes back to how you treat people. And this budget,
Or how people let you treat them.
This budget gave no sense of agency to any of the citizens in the county. Nobody got to come up there and voice their opinion, talk to their councilman, and give any input whatsoever.
It changed at the last minute.
And this last minute sneaky football stuff, it might work if you're a middle school football coach, but this is the county budget. This is people's lives. These people
I have felt for the last several generations and iterations
What are you
of
doing?
this commission.
Sorry.
This is people's lives. And this 3% cost of living allowance that he was talking about not giving at all, or 2% or whatever, in the face of 5% inflation, when every other, I mean, Social Security got 8% last year, and they're looking at getting like somewhere between 5 to 7 again this year.
Why don't we?
So
why
why-
don't you tell them what Perry Smith said to Jim Mann in this meeting?
Well, wait. I wanted to interject one other thing before, because if I don't, I'll forget. Just so that everybody knows too, they have to approve the school board budget, and the superintendent got 5%. Just so everybody knows.
Well, the school employees get 5.
Well, but the county employees didn't get it, and they do have to approve the school budget, which I didn't see them go into. They just automatically approved it.
I want to add that. Get ready. That's the next one. There's going to be a whole bunch of issues coming up when that school budget comes forth.
But here's the thing: state employees 5%, school employees 5%. EMS workers and first responders and police officers did not get 5%. They didn't get a step increase.
And some of them are making like, a lot of them are making like,
and you know, we
$50,000,
talk about
$40,000 a year.
they talk about these people that are citizens of the county that work for the county. But what about the folks that live in Anderson and live in Greenville and live in Franklin, and they drive here, and cashiers and these other places, they drive down here to make our county run, but now they're not going to be able to afford the gas to get here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we don't have people. The thing about it is those people that are driving that far to work here have skill sets that nobody else in our own county has, or we wouldn't have hired them from outside the county to begin with.
It's true.
All right, guys, we're coming up to about 8:30, and we've actually went longer than I anticipated tonight. So here's what I want to do. There's more of this conversation that we need to have. And I know that we've got a show coming up Sunday. It gives us a little bit of time to regroup, because I would love to finish this video, because there's more that we need to play in this video for everyone to be able to listen to it. But I'm going to wrap with some final thoughts here. It's going to take a whole lot of people. You know, at this point, the directors and county employees, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain by speaking out on how you feel. Because I really believe that you all are, it just goes to show you, well, this one particular person thinks of you. And we've heard conversations in going back 2 or 3 years, and this is all available, by the way. If you go to OconeeSC.com, you'll have to hunt for it. But we've had Glenn Hart make statements about county employees that they didn't do, or they're not doing a job or something. That happened just last year or 2 years ago.
Yep.
So this is something that, again, if you're a county employee, I as a tax-paying citizen of Oconee County, I'm sorry. I'm deeply troubled. I'm deeply sorry. But again, it's going to take you and everybody else to stand up and say enough is enough. So when there's no employees to greet you to take the tax revenue, if you're sending checks or go and pay your taxes and there's nobody there, then what are they going to do? Is Matt going to go down and run the drive-through of the tax assessor's office? I mean, that's where we're headed.
Well, here's the thing: there'll be no more tax auctions because they ain't nobody figuring out who ain't paying the taxes.
That's my point.
That happens in St. Charles, Michigan, and shithole places like that.
This is never. I don't believe in 47 years of my life that I've ever seen anything like this. Now, there's been, Kathy, you and I are, basically from here. I remember the fights between the school board and the county over budgeting. That's always happened, but I've never seen anything like this. It blows my mind. But there's one thing else in this conversation, and I hope we get to it Sunday. Don made something about professionalism, a comment about being professionalism.
You got people hurling insults in the audience and nobody doing anything about it. And he tells
so I got an email from someone that was in the audience and he was very disturbed. And he said he actually heard Perry Smith look at Jim Mann and say, "You're a fuckface." Why? Why would you do that? If you've got aspirations to be a representative for District 2, why are you sitting there
because he's
using that
disgusting?
vulgarity?
But he's an animal.
But my point is, you're discussing professionalism. You're wanting to say something about professionalism, but yet the people that you align with, Don, the people that you are hanging out with and you're having phone calls with are out in the audience making fun of people.
But here's
and let me finish, Randy. Let me finish. I know what I'm talking about. I know exactly who was there. I've seen the facial expressions, and I'm just going to sit back.
So today, I was looking on the internet, and I found a list of these OCC members on their own website, and you can go there and look, and you can tell every one of those people, when you see them, you know that they support Perry Smith, and he's an animal. And birds of a feather flock together. Those people are no different than him. Mm-hmm. If they're supporting him and won't denounce him, won't denounce what that he's doing and how he handles himself in public when he's representing them, they are complicit in that, and they're just like him.
He's the vice president of this organization.
So if you're listening and you're one of them people on that list, you're a steering committee member or whatever, you are no different than him. And everybody in the county needs to denounce you for what you are.
Can I say one thing, Jeff?
Go ahead.
Okay, because Randy's got me going on this. Okay, guys, I want to make sure everybody understands this. Everybody knows that there's no love lost with us. But I'm going to tell you something. This guy, for the last year and a half, even on Facebook, it was blatant. He's done it in public, has threatened and intimidated people. And Nick's even put it on Facebook saying that they use Perry as almost like an enforcer. He's done this to good people that were frightened. And I would tell them, guys, you got to report it to the police. Okay, he pulled that crap on us over the holidays, putting out these murder memes, alluding things. And we reported them to the sheriff. I did, and I bitched the loudest. And I tell you what, that is the only way to stop somebody like that. You do not. We are adults. We pay taxes. We deserve respect. You will be treated how you are allowed to be treated. And if you have this kind of crap happen to you, you go to the sheriff's office. If the sheriff won't do anything, then we get the feds involved, because those things are considered to be hate crimes at the federal level. And I cannot begin to tell you, I might be old, but I didn't let anybody pull that shit on me when I was working or when I was in school. And I sure as hell I'm not going to let them do that to my friends. You cannot allow that. We can always disagree, but you treat yourself with dignity, because that's how you expect people to treat you.
All I'm saying one last time, the Oconee County Conservative.com website, there's a list on there of their board of directors and their steering committee. And those people, if they don't denounce Perry Smith and his actions, are just as complicit.
They're culpable. Absolutely. They're enablers. Absolutely.
You go look at the list, know who they are, and make sure you disassociate yourself with them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now get ready to be threatened.
Kathy,
you know what? It only takes one to go to jail.
Let me go to Kathy now.
Sorry.
Kathy.
Yeah, all of that. I agree. Yeah, I'm just baffled.
Jennifer,
and they didn't read my letter. So I back to what they said in the journal where everybody was heard or whatever, and where he was saying that people have not been heard. Yeah, I was not heard. So yeah, I imagine they may have gotten other letters. Who knows? Who
Kathy,
knows?
you're probably right. They probably, and I'm just going back to when John Elliott was chairman. I mean, John would normally read the letters, and it's probably the simple fact your letter was delivered to Matt, and he decided not to read it.
I didn't. No. That's not who I sent it to. But
no. You sent it to the clerk. Did you send it to the clerk?
Actually, the clerk. No, I sent it to Brock because the clerk's email wouldn't work, and I let her know that, and I got a response, so I know she got it.
Okay, well, she
So,
probably
yeah.
did give it to Matt, and he decided not to read it.
He probably did. So
Yeah.
there's that.
So Matt Durham is the one who gives Perry the mic. It all starts with him. He's responsible for it all. He knows he can't talk like that in the position he is in if he wants to keep it. He is the puppet master. That's true. He is the puppet master.
They might take their hat off now when they come inside. They might wear a colored shirt, but they still haven't brushed their teeth. They still spew some of the nastiest, most vile things you could ever imagine. And it's got to stop. If you're a Republican in this county, you cannot let those folks represent you.
Well, I just wished I had to do last year all over again, because if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't be nice. If I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have been nice. But I did what I thought was the right thing. I was above, and I guess it's because I've had real life experiences, and my real life experiences have taught me no matter what you try to treat people with respect and dignity. And, I didn't want a mudslinging campaign, but by God, knowing what I know now.
Hey, arrogance always loses in the end. You watch.
Well, I'm just tired. Oconee County has been special to me.
Hurry. He's trying to get into it again.
Yeah, and one more thing, like was said after Charlottesville, there's good people on both sides of this thing. And if you're on that list and you feel like you're a good person, get off of the list.
All right, we're going to adjourn this meeting for tonight. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. This was actually kind of special, and we discussed doing this after Tuesday night. We were all in shock and awe after watching that cluster. It was a cluster, believe me. And we felt the need. We thought it would be a great idea to join us tonight to be part to have this discussion, because again, this side is the only side what you're going to hear, because it's being skewed at other places. But we want to break it down step by step. Coming up Sunday, we will have a show 7:00. We will continue this, but we also need to add some stuff in the conversation for Sunday. We've got some school district stuff we got to talk about, the 10-year plan, and it's pretty gnarly of what they're wanting to plan to do. And I'll go ahead and just say for the record, Tomasi, Salem, and Kiwi, get ready, because they're coming for your schools. Yeah. They want to shut those two schools down and combine them into one. And I got news. That's going to be as worse as putting Walhalla and Tomasi Salem High School together. And still those people are left without anything in Salem. And
it's all about the Benjamins, man. You
well,
got to save the money somehow.
But you're not saving the money. That's the problem, Chris. You didn't save a dime in doing that. You added more.
Man, I think this is going to be a really good debate. I grew up.
Then there should be justification.
Well, that's what I want to see.
There's no justification.
Is what the justification is, because
they said they was going to save millions.
Oh, okay. Well, then they should show you where the millions.
They didn't. It's like 15 million past of what they were supposed to save.
But the thing about it is we need to look at it. We can't just talk about it and be mad about it without looking at it, because that's that'd be just like that dude with the budget. He's like, yeah, here's what we're going to do, and the hell with you guys.
Well, Tomasi Salem Elementary is more of a brand new school. Kiwi Elementary is probably one of still the oldest buildings in the school district, and we'll get into all of this.
Yeah, we need to. Can we go around the table?
I thought we did.
I thought we did.
We did. Well, I got one thing. I want to leave this on a very. I want to leave this last. This is very important. Okay. I want to leave this on a very positive note.
We could talk all night.
No, guys, for the Sunday show.
More than that.
This is very important for this audience.
I'm just making fun.
This is a very important statement. On Sunday, I will be introducing an item from my wildlife collection of hats from Ruin Design LLC.
God.
A special one. In fact, the lady's name is Abe, and she designed my new hat. It's in production. I'll have it unveiled on Sunday, and I thank you for that.
I got to go over here and talk to the Messiah behind me, by the way.
Oh, well, I got one more plug to throw out there.
No!
One more. It's an advertisement plug. I get paid for it. Listen, here's the thing. Blue Ridge Grill is so tore up about the way this budget thing happened. They said Saturday, if you come up to Mountain Rest and you let them know that you're a county employee, they're going to give a discount. Now, I think it's going to be a decent discount too. It's not going to be like we're going to give you 3% off today, and if you come back in September, and we might give you 5%. All right, they're going to give you a legitimate discount because they feel bad for the citizen soldiers of our county.
I got an idea. You were talking about the OCC at the dump in Mountain Rest.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk Oconee billboard.
Well, I got a billboard up there, and right now it says Tyrant, and I wonder why.
All right, join us again Saturday or Sunday at 7 p.m. We'll be
that?
back. More conversation. We will continue this wrap up of the video. And Kathy, you have a great remainder
Y'all
of your
too.
evening. And we'll adjourn this meeting until tomorrow. And remember, I'm so old I can't remember where my nuts are.
That's it. That's a heart special. Everybody.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see you Saturday or Sunday at 7 o'clock.